Hi everybody, I'm Fiona and it is now part 2 of the hydro install that I'm fabricating, sort of. And it is gorgeously warm in Melbourne today. It's 27 roughly degrees Celsius, which is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit if you're more familiar with that system. In part 1, I designed up, measured up, made sense of what was in the end cardboard L bracket to mount our second caliper, and between part 1 and part 2, and per the intro, I've now fabricated a L bracket from 5mm mild steel. In fact, obviously I've got 2 of them because, well, 2 rear brakes. So today, part 2, we're going to install these and then we're going to start moving through the hydro lines to get these installed. But stick around because I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just doing this on the fly today. Okay, so if I hold the camera up from under the car, you can see the factory caliper down here bolted onto that L bracket there, the factory brake line, and then the dust cover that we've trimmed down from here. And then with that in place, we can then place that second caliper in, and once that's bolted down, and that'll look magnificent. We'll be able to plumb, and that's the thing, we need to then start plumbing up a second hose to that hydro. So I've actually found that it's easier to bolt the extra caliper to my bracket outside of the car, though loosely, and then I'm also using some slightly longer bolts that I've bought, because the original bolts, as you can understand, they're only designed to go in so far and come out flush, but with the extra 5mm plate, they didn't really get many threads into their position. So I bought some bolts that are 5mm longer. There you go, bolted in. That was a pretty simple little job actually. So on my spare subframe from the parts car, we've still got obviously the brake lines in their original position, and that's what I'm going to do is steal and use these lines. They run around to another rubber hose, which then runs up into the frame and joins together with a T-piece for the other side. So I'm going to steal all of that from both sides and then basically run them together, probably zip tie them together. Okay, so it's all bolted in, and I've just started working on the brake lines. Obviously the hoses are flexible and the hard line's not meant to be, but it moves around a little bit. And while I have zip tied both of the lines together following the same path all the way through to this mount, which then has a flexible hose up to the next section. I haven't played with that section yet. I'm still playing with really this subframe section. I'm happy with the separators I've made out of zip ties. It's just 2 zip ties, one round, one between. But what I'm worried about at the moment is the flex in this, because there's not really much holding that still. And I'm thinking maybe I might steal one of the factory mounts for this joiner. Alright, so through the magic of television, as they used to say, I've cut the bracket off the dust cover, and I've installed it. It's not obviously connected as yet, but I'm thinking if I weld that onto there, then this whole assembly will be solid, because obviously the two lines join together with zip ties, and so this one that would otherwise be hanging free, which is actually the original factory one, and the additional one that I'm putting in here, they won't jiggle around anymore, and that's just sort of more how I want to do things. So I'm going to pull it all out again. This is the thing about fabrication. I'm going to pull it all out again and get the welder out, and I'm going to weld that onto there, give it a bit of paint maybe, and then we can move forward to the next bit. Look, it's a mobile. Okay, so I bolted in the calipers and ran some lines, but it wasn't very solid, so I've welded on the brackets that were originally on the dust covers, and that's going to make it a lot more solid. But my janky welds, after doing the welding and then giving them a coat of paint, they're wet at the moment, so I'm going to hang these up to dry, and we'll install them next time. Anyway, that's all from me today. I hope you have a great one. Bye.